Hey guys, I'm here to talk about Nuclear Dawn. Free weekend this weekend, played it for about 5 hours, had a fun time, and now I just want to give some first impressions. I'm obviously not going to review the game, as I don't feel like I've played enough to really understand all the game mechanics, but I do think I know enough to really formulate some kind of initial opinion. Now, I actually have a lot of experience with this genre of RTS, FPS, whatever you want to call it. Games like Natural Selection, Savage 2, even Natural Selection 2, which isn't quite there if you watch my older videos, but it's definitely very similar, and it borrows a lot from those games. Now, I want to go over the first thing that I kind of felt when I started the game, and that is the amazing gunplay, and it's there in every Half-Life mod, every Source Engine mod. I just understand the physics, I understand how it plays out. It just feels really good to shoot stuff, and I think that's really important for any kind of FPS, and it just really adds to the game. Now, because it was the free weekend, there's a ton of new people playing the game, and I'd say only like 10% of the people are veterans. And you can tell by the levels that people are. There's actually leveling progression like Modern Warfare, if you're into that sort of thing. But it's really, really easy for anyone that's played FPSs competitively, or just in general played a lot of FPSs, to maintain a large ratio, and I think that'll keep going for a while because it seems like a lot of people are actually buying the game. There's also the Conquest type gameplay, which is borrowed from Battlefield, only instead of tickets here, it's all about resources and providing your commander with the resources. So it does this really, really well. There's been some complaints, which I've never heard while I was playing the game myself, but from other people, is that there aren't enough points on the map. There aren't enough important points on the map, and it's something that I go into detail with. Natural Selection 2 has the same problem, is that most of the fighting will take place at one point on the map, in the center. There seems to be one big important point in the center, and whoever controls that seems to always win the game, which kind of sucks because it seems to get taken over in the first 2-3 minutes of the game, and then eventually it's just a slow decline for whatever side didn't capture it. I did get some chances to command, and it's actually pretty fun, and I want to go over something else that's really important in all games, and that is the level of polish. Now, Nuclear Dawn was being developed for a really long time, and it was kind of fell off the radar. They weren't talking about it, and eventually there was little tidbits here and there, but it finally came out. So they had plenty of time to work on this, but everything just feels really, really good. From the interface to the commanding hotkeys, and just everything just plays off really nicely. It doesn't feel like an indie game. It feels like a real, actual big studio game. So even though the game feels super polished, it doesn't mean that the core gameplay doesn't suck. In fact, it's fucking horrible, and after 5 hours of playtime, I kind of never want to play the game again. And it's for the same exact reasons as Natural Selection 2. Well, not exactly the same, but they're pretty similar. So, the main problem with the game is all the structures, and what they tried to do was balance the game around how many structures you can kill and how well you can kill players. I'm sorry, how well you can kill structures and how well you can kill players. So, you have a choice when picking your class and selecting your loadout. You can choose your utility towards either side. An exosuit, for example, can either take a chain gun, which obviously is almost worthless against structures, or a rocket launcher, which will kill structures but make you completely worthless against any kind of infantry. And I guess it's forces team play like Left 4 Dead. And I absolutely hate this kind of gameplay when team play is just forced so much. You have to have an assault class when you're exo around you, otherwise you get killed by stealth, otherwise you can't kill other players when you're attacking structures. Now the assault class, for example, has a loadout that can kill structures, the grenade launcher, which can be unlocked later in the game. And you sacrifice your really fucking good assault rifle, which is fucking incredible at taking down exos and the stealth class, and you get a shotgun instead, which isn't horrible, but it's definitely worse than the assault rifle. Now, the grenade launcher does almost nothing against players. I mean, it does its damage, but compared to the assault rifle, it sucks. So, again, you're gimping your offensiveness against other players. Now, when you're off playing alone, if you are, for example, trying to kill structures, you're going to be worthless if you encounter a player. And if you're trying to kill other players, you are going to be worthless against pretty much every turret in the game. So that's what the gameplay boils down to, that there's too much reliance on structure gameplay. And way too much reliance on artificial teamwork. And when I say artificial, I mean that you have to have some certain classes near you instead of, work together, cover each other, so on. And this leads me to my next point, is that there's way too much disconnect between the commander and the players. The commander in this game can almost entirely not support his players. And he can't drop med packs, he cannot drop any kind of ammo packs. He can drop a big healing radius, and it has to be researched, and there's a cooldown on it, and it costs resources, so it's nothing like dropping just a med pack. You can't drop ammo, and it just kind of sucks when you run out of ammo all the way across the battlefield, and you gotta run all the way back to the starting to resupply yourself. It's just frustrating, and it's not a fun mechanic. So there it is. I will probably not be buying it. It was fun at first, but it just isn't much fun to play when you're shooting at turrets. That's all I can say. I've played like 5 games like that now, where it's just pick up a rocket launcher, stand in one spot, shoot turrets over and over and over and over again, and then get killed by players because you can't kill players when you've got gear to kill turrets. It just doesn't really work. It feels really forced, and I'm hoping that Natural Selection 2 doesn't go that route, even though it seems to be, but we'll find out. For now, I highly recommend that you at least give it a try on Steam. It's free for a while now. It might not be free by the time this video is uploaded, but give it a try, and either way, I'm going to be starting the next episode of Who Makes This Shit, so I will see you guys tomorrow.